Well, folks, we're back after another little hiatus. This is the Office Ladies podcast. I'm your host tonight, Skylar, here with my co-host, Elliot. And we're going to discuss our time on the hit show, The Office, the UK version, though.
That's right. A little known fact is that we were both big stars on the UK version of The Office, but they cut out like all of our stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. You can kind of see Elliot's head in a frame in episode 2, but they decided to go a different direction. Our agent was like, I think they need a bigger role, and
they really do. The problem was that we were taking up too much screen time because we're both very beautiful men. So the
very
camera
charismatic
operator fell in love with us and just kept the camera on us at all times, and it was like, hey, there's the story going on with Ricky Gervais's character, and he's doing this, but the camera's on Elliot and Skylar, or should we
did cast for minor role. I mean, my name was literally Guy with Tie, number 2.
Yeah. It was like, hey, these aren't important characters, but they kept giving us screen time, and it was causing a whole drama within the UK version of Hollywood. It's a big deal.
That's why we had to move to America and pick up American accents. It was a really big controversy, but you probably wouldn't have heard about it if you weren't from the UK.
That's right. It was big news over there for a long time.
And us being method actors, we picked up the American accent pretty quick. The Midwestern American accent.
Right. The Midwest accent. Which, if you're from the Midwest, you hear people say, oh, yeah, we don't have an accent. But yeah, we totally have an accent.
We do. It's like a mix of a bunch of different accents, I would say.
Yeah, and it's like if you go north, you have the northern, the Wisconsin accent versus which is, I think that's technically the Midwest, is just the whole middle section of America. It's
literally the middle western section of America, geographically at least.
Okay, wow, mystery solved. I didn't know. I just thought Midwest sounded kind of cool. It was a cool.
Yeah.
Back in the day, people would be going west, and that was a euphemism for something.
Going to California?
Yeah.
Possibly to dig up some gold.
Gold, baby. There's gold in them thar hills.
There is gold in them thar hills. As my great-grandpappy used to say.
Yeah. But yeah, we're back. A
week break.
From last
we like
week.
To take a week off after a good episode, so that way we can come back and do an absolutely terrible episode.
Yeah, that way I don't feel as bad listening back to it, because it was I'll listen back to it and be like, man, that was a good fucking episode, and then we follow it up with really stupid bullshit that I'm like, wow, all right.
So we ride the high of a good episode. I mean, it doesn't have to the numbers. We don't care about the numbers. If it just sounds good to us, that's what entails a good episode, and we'll ride that high. We will ride it all week, sometimes
That's
2,
right.
Sometimes for a month. You'll never know, because we're not going to tell you.
I mean, I ride that high as long as I can. Once I start to come down from that ego trip, that's when I go back and re-listen to the episode. I'm like, man, we did such a good episode. And just stroke my ego back to and that's how I stay alive. That's how I live my life.
Podcast to podcast, man. That's what it's all about.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it was a good week to take off too, because it's a spring season of anime and television and movies that are coming out in spring, and I think it's a new quarter of the fiscal year, probably.
I think so.
So it's tax day's coming up, which is a big deal, I think. Dude, I got I didn't get the third stimmy. I didn't get the third stimmy.
You didn't get the third stimmy?
No. It was supposed to be part of my tax return. And then I filed my taxes, and then it came back and was like, oh, you did this wrong, so you're only getting $2 back from the federal government. And I was like, oh, okay, well, fuck me then.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I didn't get
By the way,
third
folks,
stimmy.
taxation is theft.
It really is. Dude, I'm just fucking working my dick off, and it's still not enough for the federal government to keep its greasy fucking mitts off my wallet, my thin wallet that we transition into an ad here about a certain wallet company.
Like Ridge wallets.
Sure, yeah.
That are, yeah. Basically, it's
Yeah.
just like a binder clip is all
Basically,
it is.
it's like some pieces of fucking metal that we're not sponsored by them.
No, obviously not.
This is another one of those jokes where we joke about being sponsored by people, so that I think eventually if we do it enough, somebody's gonna sponsor us.
Yeah, we do it. I mean, ironically, it'll be funny.
Yeah,
You know, and
yeah,
if we do end up getting sponsored by Ridge wallets, that would be hilarious.
it would be pretty funny. I think we're pretty far off and away from that. I looked
Probably.
at
At least another 100, 200 episodes.
probably, yeah.
It'll be
We
like One
weren't-
Piece and go on for forever. Just never
Ooh,
ending.
man. Whew. Speaking of, dude, you've been watching One Piece, right?
I did get into One Piece, yes. I
Oh,
just,
man.
on a whim, I was bored at work, needed something to do. That wasn't
Yeah.
work.
And you were like, what am I going to do with the next 7,000 hours of my
Yeah, pretty much.
something?
But I mean, it wasn't just on a whim. Like, I'd always been. I mean, I played it off a lot. I really think I may have seen the 4Kids dub at some point, and it's super heavily censored and bad.
Yeah.
I think
see
that might
that.
be why I can't really pinpoint a moment in my life I would have. I watched a lot of Cartoon Network, and I know
Yeah.
it was on there at some point. But it's definitely not a kid's show at all. There's a
Nice.
lot of blood. There's a lot of drink. I mean, pirate shit. I mean, not like real pirate shit, but
Yeah.
fantasy pirate shit.
Pirates with superpowers, right? Is the...
Basically, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I decided to because 1,000+ episodes is daunting. And my only experience with shonen anime is there's a lot of filler because usually it'll catch up and then they'll have to do filler episodes with like side characters or something that isn't canon. So I decided to, look up a guide and see, if what's worth skipping, what's worth watching. And the guy goes into detail on a lot of stuff about this is optional. This whole arc is optional, but I thought it was pretty good. Check it out.
Damn, a whole arc?
Yeah, it'll be like, these arcs are like 8 to 12 episodes, except for the most recent one that's like been 200 episodes, I think.
Damn.
But anyway, yeah, the guy, his opinion was like, you can't judge One Piece until you finish the Arlong Park, which I think it ends around episode 44.
Oh.
And that's like when the OG crew has all met up and they have all their backstories are fleshed out. Kind of know why they're going to the Grand Line, which is where One Piece is. It's your typical shonen. Power maxing,
Yeah.
The Arlong Park arc, it was kind of just like, how can we keep Luffy away from the action for as long as we can, so when he comes in, he, kicks ass.
Luffy's the main dude, right?
Yes, he's the protagonist. Okay. He's the captain of the Straw Hat Pirates. The
with
Mugiwara.
He's smiling all the time, and he has like stretchy powers, right?
Yes, he ate the gum fruit. And it made him a rubber man.
Oh.
So, it's fun. It's interesting.
That's pretty cool.
It was a lot darker than I thought. I mean, there's straight up death and blood.
Wow.
I mean, it's not over the top or anything, but and some of the themes too are pretty, pretty dark. Sanji, the cook, like his whole backstory is about how he was on this like a pirate raided his ship that he was on. He was like an apprentice cook, and he's like a kid. They end up on deserted on an island and basically starve. So that is what pushes him to become a better cook, and yada yada yada.
Oh, okay. That's
It's
good
starvation,
backstory
and like
yeah.
it's very visceral.
Man,
I was very surprised by that. So I've been pleasantly surprised by it.
that's good. I know that I have talked shit on One Piece in the past, but it was out of ignorance. I had seen maybe one episode, and like you said, it was 100% a dub, but I don't know if it was even
The bad
like a
one.
good dub. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cool. It's worth watching. Like, I can't like hate on you for watching, because I watched essentially all of what's out of Black Clover. I think I have like 20 episodes left or something, but it's another shonen that's basically power creep, but everybody does magic instead of, like, they just cast magic spells, and it's magic based, I guess, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of having instead of using chakra and doing ninjutsu and genjutsu and
Or Ki.
all the Naruto stuff.
Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
More
Like
Dragon Ball Z than Dragon Ball, but
where they call out their special moves, and it's like, silver stardust of magma meteors strike.
Special Beam Cannon.
Yeah. Which is pretty dope. I liked Special Beam Cannon. That was
Piccolo was so good. He was such a good character. They completely murdered him in the Boo arc, though.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, not like literally, but, well, literally, yes, but they just...
Isn't he one who dies in, like, all of the arcs before everyone gets... He's always one of the crew that gets wished back to life.
Usually,
he sacrifices himself for something.
Yeah. It was just in the Boo arc. I think he only had like 1 or 2 fights in that whole thing.
Oh, man.
Yeah. That was yeah. I say Dragon Ball stopped being great after the Cell Saga. I'll probably get crucified for saying that, but
yeah, I
mean, I haven't watched GT or Super other than the movie, so I'm not judging those, but I guess I'm just solely judging the Boo Saga.
I think it was the last, like, the last part of the series that I watched, other than like the Super movies,
Yeah.
But it was also when I was a child, so I don't even remember a lot of the details.
Yeah, it's been a while since I watched it, but I just remember I have just never been a fan of the Boo Saga.
Man. I thought it was kind of silly when he like turned people into cookies and like ate them,
Oh yeah,
that was pretty silly. I thought
it was when they like transformed him into this super ripped pink thing. I hated that.
Yeah. He was the fat Boo, and was all about like cookies and fat stuff.
Yeah, he was like making friends with Mr. Satan. At a point.
Yeah, and then his
those
eyes
two guys
opened up.
came in. Yeah, those 2 guys came and shot the dog for like no reason. It was just like, we're gonna be evil just to be evil, and then that was when Boo was like, I don't know if humans are good, and then the evil part of them takes over or whatever.
Man,
I think after that's kind of when it started to go downhill. But sorry, I didn't mean to go on a Dragon Ball rant.
No,
it was just something fresh in my mind for some reason.
Yeah, well, it's part of the huge anime shows that are
shonen in particular. So that's one of the big ones.
Yeah,
including One Piece and Bleach, right?
Yeah.
But is Bleach over?
I think so. I think it ended a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
And then there were like movies, and then a live action movie, I think, and maybe there was a like rebuild scenario with a new arc. I'm not too sure, honestly. I've not watched a single episode of Bleach ever. So
I think I watched one episode back in like 2006 on Toonami. If that was even a thing back then, it might have been Adult Swim.
Yeah.
But
I'm not
sure.
sure.
I was more into Inuyasha.
Yeah, I didn't get into Inuyasha, but different strokes for different folks, right?
Sure. Right. That's what anime is all about, baby.
Exactly. But yeah, it's a new season of springtime anime. Kaguya-sama season 3. I'm stoked on that. Fucking that show is hilarious, dude. I really like it.
What was that one about?
That's it's like a rom-com.
Oh, okay.
Between the president, the student council president, and the student council vice president of like this elite academy, and
so they have more. They have more like power than most adults do. They're the.
Yeah.
That's like a trope. It's a trope. Anime trope. It's like the student council.
Yeah, the student council that like we run this school, but
yeah, pretty much.
It's a different sort of they treat their student council, at least in anime, definitely different than how we treated our student council. I couldn't tell you who student council was at all, or what they fucking did.
Nope.
IRL, nope. It was, who knows.
It's probably it's probably a big deal in Japan, I'm sure.
Yeah.
To be especially president of your class.
Yeah, it's like actually, super honorable, and you get certain accolades and recommendations for colleges and stuff like that, and it's the two of them, and they're in love with each other, but neither one wants to admit it because love is war, obviously, and the first one to admit their love to the other loses and is the sub of the relationship essentially forever. That's the that's the main premise, but it's good. It's worth a watch. I enjoy it.
What sets it apart from other rom-coms?
What
sets it apart?
Oh, it's not like a harem rom-com, you know what I mean? A lot of rom-coms that I see, it's just like a harem. It's the one dude and like 5 chicks who fall in love with him. Super unrealistic. It's definitely more of a realistic like thing, and it has heart, but it's not like you're not gonna cry watching it.
Not gonna, okay.
Yeah. And it's just high quality in general, I think. I don't know.
What'd you say it was
Kaguya-sama, yeah.
Kaguya-sama, okay.
Check it out if you're into it. I dig it, obviously.
What else is coming out this season? There's that Spy X Family. I haven't watched that, but I intend to.
Yeah, I watched the first episode. It was really good. It's it looks like it'll be fun. Good, a fun comedy, but like enough production quality that there was an action scene in it, and it was actually kind of sick. It's like a spy action kind of tactical espionage action, so to speak. But if Solid Snake if his mission were, instead of to infiltrate Shadow Moses, it's to make a family and like enroll his child in like an elite academy to get close to this elite person in the government to do, I don't know, for like an assassination mission or something. I forget what its mission is exactly, but it's gonna be fun. It seems pretty fun so far. Oh, and the little girl is like a telepath, so she can read his mind. So you know that thing in anime where like there's always the character whenever something happens and they stop and they like have an inner monologue and like process it, but like, you know, that happens, but like she can read his mind as it's happening.
Okay.
So she always has the, you know, and she's like a little girl, but he's trying to put on the facade of just being an adoptive father, but he's like, you know, a spy who's supposed to kill people and shit. So it's got a fun that first episode was good. I think the second one dropped today. I think Saturdays are when new episodes come out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Another one to add to the old list, but man, One Piece has really been taking it. There's so much. I have so much to catch up on.
Dude, yeah, I bet.
It's like and I mean, I watch it sub too.
Oh, so you have to like pay attention.
I have to pay attention. Yeah. I guess I could like on the filler arcs, I could switch to the dub and, you know, watch it with my phone out or whatever. But I don't know. It's got me to a point where I kind of want to watch the filler. I mean, unless it's like obviously shit.
Like, mm-hmm.
And apparently there's not much filler with it. So.
Oh. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
According to that one website I sent you, I can't remember the name of it, but showed you how many episodes were filler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was that's my main reason for not actually watching Naruto Shippuden like I should.
That was surprising. That one
has a lot. It was like
45%. Yeah, 40%, something like that.
40% filler episodes.
Out of how many episodes? Like 500?
Yeah, I think it was 500.
So almost 250 of those are. I have to wonder how does that happen? Was it?
Yeah.
Did it catch up to the manga and they just needed to? Yeah.
Usually, that's usually what happens. Like the poor manga artist, the mangaka, I believe is what they're called.
Yeah.
Dude, they work their asses off for sure.
They do.
And then everybody just watches the anime instead of reading the manga. So it's like, I mean, there's the hardcore fans who read the manga explicitly. And
I mean, if you want to stay caught up to like where the story's at, then yeah, you read the manga. Like with JoJo, sure. I caught up with it. Oh, and now he's taking a year break, so
good for him. He deserves it. He's been going at it hard, right?
God, yeah, since like the 90s, early 90s, I think is when
damn.
Part 1 dropped. I want to say, I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
It's been going on a while.
I guess that makes sense. That art style, that very specific like JoJo look, you know?
Part 1 especially was like what, Fist of the North Star. He looks like I can't remember the guy's name. But yeah.
Yeah, I need to watch Fist of the North Star. That's a classic.
It is, yeah. All I know is he does that like his like special attack or whatever.
I just know that omae wo
shinderu.
Nani? Yeah, that means.
Is that where that one like it's like a reaction gif of like the guy opening the like bush and it's just his face. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. Man. In my Japanese study, funny enough, that meme, or at least that phrase "omae wa shinderu" is actually super. It's like this most insulting way to tell somebody that like calling somebody like ma ma is how I think that's how you spell it.
Shinderu.
It's
Nani?
Shinderu is you're dead.
Mm.
Shi means death, which is also a homonym of 4, which is why 4 is an unlucky number in Japanese. And there's Anyway, but yeah, it's super insulting way.
Yeah, isn't 4 a bat? Like 4 is like a curse number, right?
Yeah, yeah, because it's a homophone or homonym
For
actually.
death.
Yeah, for death. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, that could you could relate that to a lot of things like Zelda. It usually starts with only 3 temples.
Yeah.
Um,
The like silver ratio is based off of, it's like their architecture thing, and
oh yeah.
it's like I want to say it's like a 3-to-1 instead of the golden ratio, which is I'm not an architecture person, but I know it's like Western architecture uses golden ratio,
Mm-hmm.
and then Eastern was more silver or something. I don't know. Guys, consult an architecture textbook for the actual answer to
Isn't that also
but I
like
think
mathematics? Golden
yeah,
ratio,
yeah, something
spiral,
like
the
that.
Fibonacci spiral.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I want to
actually
say it has something to do with 1 to 3 or something like that.
well, relating back to JoJo, Part 7 actually uses just that, the whatever golden ratio for their crazy. It's like a Hammon equivalent, I guess you could say.
Uh-huh.
Because I don't want to get into I don't want to spoil it in case
Yeah.
you're ever or viewers are ever going to get into JoJo. So I'll just say Part 7 changes up stuff a lot for reasons.
Man, okay.
And
I
that's
still
one of
need
the
to-
like new abilities is the spin. And yeah, you only watched Part 3, right?
Yeah, I only got up through 3. I watched the first couple episodes of 4, but it was immediately after I watched 3, and I didn't like sit down and process or
Yeah.
so it was
3
just
is,
that hard skip from the end of 3. 3 was, I really enjoyed 3. It was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, 3's good.
It was one that I watched I would switch back and forth between the dub and the sub, because I'm a Matt Mercer fanboy.
Yeah, Matt, I mean, he does a great
Always.
Jotaro. I mean, he really does.
Fantastic. Really, really good.
You can't say that he doesn't give the role his all. I mean, he even does the auras too, which is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was really good. But I think I watched the first episode of 4, but it was immediately like, because at the end of 3, spoilers for part 3, I guess, Grandpa Joseph like had like a love child, right? And that's who Josuke
Yeah.
comes from.
Knocked up
And
some
it was
chick in
just-
Japan.
Yeah, it just felt really weird, and I was
Yeah,
like,
it seems
really?
kind of out
My
of
homie?
character for Joseph,
Yeah.
but also not that out of character, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like, he was a womanizer in the early part of part 2, I guess. You know,
And I mean, he's
a lot
like
of
60 in
charisma.
part 3, and he's still fucking
Yeah.
yoked.
Yeah, fucking ripped beyond belief. Absolute unit. God damn.
I think the only thing about part 3 I didn't like is the like couple times they had Joseph use Hammon. It like didn't work, or he couldn't use it for whatever bullshit reason. Like there was that like pimple stand that like whatever got on his arm, and like he tried to use
that was
Hammon
so
on it.
gross.
And it's like, if you use it on me, then whatever, for whatever reason, it's not going to work.
Yeah,
And he didn't use it once against Dio.
Yeah, yeah.
But I guess it wouldn't work on Dio because he has Joseph's body. Yeah, that fucking series is crazy as fuck. It gets crazier. Part 4 is fun. It's like a slice of life, but still with the crazy JoJo battles and everything.
Yeah,
I would say it's more like a murder mystery kind of thing is what it is.
Huh.
Then part 5, Giorno. That one was like super memed.
Yeah.
Especially his like theme, whatever, Levento to Oreo. That was like in everything for a while. But yeah. Check out JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, people. It's good.
Yeah. It really is good, despite the fandom being absolutely disgusting and cringy. Just the absolute worst.
Like, after reading the manga, anytime they would introduce a new stand, and like all the later stands are named after starting with part 4, they start naming stands after song names or artists. And
Yeah.
literally every time it would happen, you go to YouTube and you go to look up the song, the comment section is just flooded with whatever it's related to JoJo. You know, after years of being untouched, like the one of the stands in part 8 was called Wonder of You, which is an Elvis song.
Oh.
So you go to that on YouTube now, and it's all fucking JoJo memes.
Yikes. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Bro, there's so
I
many
know.
like boomers out there who love Elvis that are probably pissed at that. I have no
Like
idea what the
confused as
is going
fuck.
on. Yeah. God damn. Yeah, it makes me sick. That's why I haven't like dived super deep into JoJo.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I don't want to get caught up in that, and it's, you know, I'm not gonna say like I'm better than them or anything. It just, I don't do the
Like you're not a super. I'm not a super
Yeah.
fan of anything. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say.
there's too much. There's way too much stuff out there to like glob on to just one show or one video game or one series of books or one anything, you know. There's so much out there. You can't, if you just do the one thing. I don't know, there's some people who do that, sure, but
I mean, that's fine if you're if
Yeah.
it, you know,
there's
gives you
nothing wrong
purpose or
with
whatever.
it.
But there's so much stuff out there to go and see.
Yeah.
Being fixated on one or two or three things like that to the extent that some people go to.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be
there-
one of those guys that have like a bunch of little anime figurines, but I mean like one or two, sure, yeah, that's great. Or a Gundam, like a Gundam or two, but having like a whole wall dedicated to
Right.
it, like every time I see like a Reddit post, I'm like, oh, check out my Funko Pop collection. He has like a whole fucking
man.
wall dedicated to Funko Pops. Like, dude.
Yeesh. Funko Pops. I have a couple of them, so I can't talk shit. But god damn,
But you don't have like
there's so much.
an unhealthy amount of
I don't
them.
think so. I have 2. I think I only have 2. One of them is the Rathalos from Monster Hunter.
Oh,
And,
nice.
Yeah.
Here
Special
I am fucking
order.
shitting on them, but like,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, one or two
just
different ones are
said,
cool,
yeah.
but
I also have Yosuke Kitagawa from Persona 5.
oh,
Yeah.
still haven't
Also,
played
also voiced by Matt Mercer. So
that.
obviously, I'm just fucking obsessed. Apparently, I don't
Can you
know.
play it subbed, or is it only dubbed?
No, I think you can switch the language into Japanese.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think at least with P5R
Royal.
Yeah, which I haven't finished. I finished the base game a long time ago, and then I played through Royal, but then I got to like there's this battle in one of the palaces, or I forget what they call them in 4 castles, the level, and there's like a boss fight, and they made it like way harder in the new version, and I just couldn't beat it, and I needed to grind, and then I took a break, and I haven't touched it because there's so many other games
Those
that have
games
come
are
out.
grind heavy, man.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, at least I played Persona 4, and I mean, I was like 100+ hours before I beat the game, like true ending and everything. I was like, damn. And a lot of that was just spent grinding. Doing my best to not progress the story at all, because you get up to a point, you can fuck shit up, and
Yeah.
fun
One of
games
those-
though.
They were it doesn't sound like if you were to describe the gameplay, it's like, yeah, you live a life of a high school kid and you go through your day deciding what to do. Like, do you make a bunch of paper cranes to up your kindness skill, or do you study so that you don't fall behind in class, or do you go into the mental palace of and get into the deep psychology and Jungian themes?
Yeah,
and
the
shit.
shadow and whatever.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was Four's
very
whole thing.
ooh. I still need to read some like Carl Jung, like his actual work and stuff. I've only heard talks from people who have read it before instead of from him himself. But yeah, the deep psychology of like the shadow being your dark unrealized subconscious self, that if you don't confront it, then you're not actually, you never like fully come into your own being. You have to embrace the darkness inside of you to like, I don't know.
Bitches and whores.
Indeed. Yeah.
Oh man, I don't want to spoil it, but God, I loved his character so much.
Yeah.
Just great writing.
That fucking face that he makes that's memed all the time. I just love it, man.
Yeah.
I just love it.
The like Joker smile one, yeah. Unhinged, man.
Yeah. Those are fucking fantastic games. If you're a fan of like
if you like JRPGs
psychology
and psychology,
JRPGs, it's a very good one. Offshoot of Shin Megami Tensei, which it's like similar gameplay, but I feel like SMT is a lot more serious. Like you're not playing a high school kid who is going through these mental things. It's like you're a
high school kid that is caught in like a demon world instead.
Yeah.
Typically, usually a high school kid. At least
also a high school kid, but it's like.
But there's not much. There's not the slice of life stuff. It's more, like true core RPG, JRPG. Very grind heavy.
Yeah.
Good in its own right. I haven't played through a full one, but I wanted to pick up 5, but you have to dedicate yourself to one game at a time, or I do at least.
Yeah.
Especially, because I'll just get too many. Like, that's a problem I have with Game Pass, is I'll download like 3 games.
God.
Oh yeah, that's great. I'll play all of these, and I get like into one, and then I'll be like, well, I want to play this now. Then I'll get into that one. So,
dude, I've been paying for Game Pass for the last couple months, and I've only I haven't touched it since we all played some fucking
Deep Rock.
Deep Rock, yeah. But I've been paying for it. I've had Doom Eternal. I've been like halfway through Doom Eternal for the last 6 months.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not gonna say its name.
The game that shall not be named.
The ancient
that we will
loop.
never. the really old circle.
Yes, the really old circle. That game. I've been going a lot of time into that.
Oh my god. I crested the 80-hour mark on it, so.
Well, that's nice. But we're not talking about it anymore.
We're not talking about it.
Not until we both beat it. That was the thing. We both have to beat it. And then we'll have the extremely old and ancient cylindrical object. We'll have a discussion on it.
But yeah, that's the game that I believe both of us have focused most of our time on recently.
Yeah, totally, 100%.
Definitely
I haven't touched anything else, really.
Yeah.
Bought that Chrono Trigger remake. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I bought the Assassin's Creed 4 plus Assassin's Creed Rogue like dual pack on the Switch because it was on sale for like, I think it was like $7.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I didn't play either of those games, so I was like, oh yeah, I'll pick this up, and I started up 4, and then I was like, this isn't grabbing me as much as this other game that we're not going to talk about. What did you buy?
The other
recently?
Game that we shall not discuss. I would say I bought a Chrono Trigger, or not Chrono Trigger, excuse me, Chrono Cross. Specifically the Radical Dreamers edition, which is
was it like a remake or just a full-on remaster?
I forget what the difference is. Remake would be remade from the ground up, right? Remaster would just be taking the old and making it kind of new, putting some polish on it.
remake,
not
I think, of
Final Fantasy
Final
7?
Fantasy 7, where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, everything is sexy and awesome now,
Yes.
versus a remaster, which is like, oh, everything is still squares and rectangles, but it runs
polished.
on a screen in 1080p.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, they, they updated all the character models, so they all look nice. It runs in whatever 1080p. I think it's locked to 30 FPS, but that's just a limitation of, it's a PlayStation 1 game.
Yeah.
But they did update all the character model or portraits, like when you talk to somebody and a text box come up.
Uh-huh.
They updated all of those. Some of them I like, some of them I do not like. And like it's either all or nothing. You can't turn some things off and leave other things on. It also came with because there was a game in between Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross that kind of bridged the gap called Radical Dreamers, I believe.
Oh.
Which was, it's very loosely bridging the gap. It's just a text adventure, pretty much, with one of the main characters from Chrono Cross in it, who isn't involved, like, in the overall plot of Chrono Cross and even Chrono Trigger. Because funny enough, on the Chrono Trigger DS version, they added a secret ending that tied Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross together.
Oh.
So, yeah.
I was wondering about that, if those existed in the same universe or...
It's the same, yes, up to a point, and then the timeline splits.
Okay.
So, and it gets really complicated from there.
Yeah, that's
In
fair.
fact, it gets extremely complicated.
Yeah, it's a timey-wimey game, right?
It's a timey-wimey alternate universe that also involves time.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the plot, the story's really good, I think. It suffers from... I'm not even talking about the remaster. I'm talking about the game in general. Mm-hmm. But it suffers from character bloat because there's like 54 recruitable characters. And
oh, jeez.
Yeah, not all of them are relevant to the plot.
Yeah.
They just kind of... Some of them are just like, well, I'm just going to join you because... Yeah.
Because you need a character who has a purple color scheme.
Pretty much. Or you have to have like the guy that talks with a French accent and the guy with the German accent. The typical, swordsman dude, and yeah. Great story, but and as far as the remaster goes, it's fine. There's some slowdown. Apparently they didn't have the source code, so
jeez, what the hell?
Yeah.
How do you not have
they had
the
to
source
store
code
it
for
on,
something
like...
that you remastered?
Yeah, I know, right? Like,
that's so weird.
Yeah.
I don't understand how video games are made. I was a computer science major, video game development track for a whole year, so I learned how to code in Java. I learned a little bit of Java, a little bit. Probably couldn't do it now, but I can't make a video game in Java.
I can write a Hello World script in Python, and I guess I've done some stuff in PowerShell.
Yeah.
But that's a little different.
Right.
It's similar kind of logic, but...
It's computer words, man. It's computer writing.
And computers are the devil.
Computers are the devil, dude. They're gonna
Nothing
take
has
over.
ever been made easier with a computer.
No.
Not
it
a
has
damn
not.
thing.
Other than like the calculator, that's probably peak.
That was about as far as we should have gone, and then we should have stopped.
Anything beyond that, enough technology to make a shitty podcast and then stop. That's my opinion on
and I agree with his opinion.
Just enough for audio recording. And
the electromagnetic radiation from all of these products that we use every day. It's gonna get in our heads, man. It's gonna give us beef brain.
Give us beef brain. Well, that sounds good. Like beef. Like my brain is beefy, bro. I'm fucking. You don't even know how jacked Yeah, you know how many book reps I do every day? I read a book every day, bro.
Every day?
My brain
must
is
be reading
beefed.
Chuck Tingle if you're going through them that fast.
I didn't say I was reading highbrow literature every day. I'm.
Are you saying Chuck Tingle isn't highbrow literature?
I'm saying that I have not read enough Chuck Tingle to give you a good opinion on him, but
that's fair. I've only read one.
What was
book.
the title of the one you sent me? God damn it.
It was titled. Let me see here. Ah, yes. Almost pounded by the physical manifestation of simulation theory after realizing we're erotica characters, then deciding to just be friends. By the physical manifestation, and it really happens. It's only like 12, 13 pages. I'll try and give you a synopsis. This guy wins a game show, but
okay.
While he's playing on the game show, he sees these random numbers pop up, and it convinces him to do something. So he wins, it doesn't convince him. Some random numbers pop up. It's a really big number. It pops, and then he wins. He wins a flight to somewhere, and immediately after the game show, it's like a fever dream. Immediately after the game show, which is run by a unicorn, I believe.
Okay.
He gets on a plane, immediately after winning, and he gets in the plane. Eventually, this Bigfoot foot model shows up, named David, and they start talking about
wait. A Bigfoot foot model.
Yes, he's like a Bigfoot, a Sasquatch.
He's a Bigfoot, but he is a foot model.
He is a foot model, yes.
Okay.
And it's just
and his name's David?
Yes, his name's David. Yeah, I mean, it gets crazier.
All right.
They start talking, he asks David, before David comes in, the pilot's like, well, there may or may not be other people getting on the plane. If there isn't, you'll be the only one. He sees those numbers pop up over the door, and then it pops, and then that's when David walks in. He asks David if he can see the numbers, and David's like, no, I can't. We must be in a simulation. We must be... Yes, and then they go into this deep... I would say it's a pretty deep talk about simulation, theory. And then... immediately after that, David kind of is like, so you're in a simulation, and you're on a phone game, and there's somebody playing it, and those are microtransactions, the little numbers that pop up, and when they pop, that means the person has selected it. So they pop up one more time before the flight takes off, and it's the biggest number he's seen. It pops, and then in walks in the physical manifestation of simulation theory, and his name's Zed or something. and then
Zed, from Pulp Fiction.
I don't think it's something with a Z. I don't think it's Zed, but it's something with a Z. Anyway, before the flight takes off, the pilot announces that it's a shirtless flight, so they all take off their shirts.
Yeah, that
and
realistic.
So, I'm trying to find out what his name is. The physical Nevo, the physical manifestation of simulation theory, and he describes to him what the meaning of existence and everything is, and eventually they get to a point David, Bigfoot guy, he goes into the bedroom it's on the plane.
On the plane, all right.
Because he assumes that Nevo and the main character are going to have sex, or he's going to pound him in the butt. But, after discussing it and everything, they decide to just be friends.
Okay.
I'm really condensing it, but they, really talk about, what living in a simulation what that would entail, and yeah,
they
realize they
deep into
eventually realize
simulation
they realize they're in an erotic novel written by Chuck Tingle. I'll send you this after so you could read it yourself. It's
okay.
It's
all
wild.
right.
But that's basically the synopsis. Is he wins a game show, realizes he's in a simulation, meets the simulation, like the manifestation of, not of the simulation, but of simulation theory itself, like the theory of...
Yeah, the abstract theory of simulation theory condensed into...
he's cut. He has abs. He finds them sexually attractive.
Nice.
Even though he's just like numbers and bits.
I guess it was all in the title too. I mean,
all right. Here's okay. I'll read one little paragraph.
All right.
Okay. If you head through the wormhole, then you'll take off your virtual reality goggles and unplug a cable from your brainstem, but you'll still be a character in a book. And if you escape the book, you'll still be part of a dream. And if you wake from the dream, you'll still be in a car commercial. And when the car commercial ends, you'll still be in the final dying moment of a spider's brain as its webs are cleared away from a barn in Akron, Ohio.
Oh my god.
It's like, simulation,
right.
simulation.
Ooh.
Within a simulation they start talking about.
Layers of simulation on simulation.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, because who's to say if, the reality that we manifest in, of course, like, I mean, obviously it's some sort of illusion. So you go into, okay, this is assuming simulation theory is, so like, yeah, but if this reality is simulated and artificial, and then you get out of it, you die, or you whatever it takes to move on to pierce the veil, so to speak.
Yeah.
Into the actual reality, but who's to say that actual reality above this one isn't a simulation itself?
Yes.
Of another reality. Yeah.
It's like you zoom in on a blade of grass, and in that blade of grass is an atom, and in those atoms are whatever muons, gluons, and then you go in even farther, and there's another universe inside it, kind of like that.
Yeah, it's
although
sort of
in
the
Chuck
idea.
Tingle's erotic novel, it's a character in a book that figures out he's in a simulation of a video game that's in the book, and they realize the book is bigger than the video game, and yeah. And that's not even the final layer.
Man, that's the kind of stuff I think about on a daily basis. So I would probably enjoy Chuck Tingle's novels.
It seems, yeah, I know. I read this one. I was like, really? It's just
captivating.
This is one he did for charity, so it's free. So I don't know if it might be a special case. Because it ends in friendship, and I assume his other ones don't end in friendship.
Yeah, the ones that like are, pounded in the butt by XYZ.
Pounded in the butt by my own butt. I bet that one gets meta.
That one. I like to imagine there's probably like a hardcore gay sex scene, but then it's like, as he's getting pounded in the butt, he's going super introspective about, like, I don't know, he's looking at a portrait of a dog that he hung up on his wall, and he's like, why did I commission this portrait of a dog? What does that say about me? Why do I connect with dogs so much as opposed to cats? And, what makes a cat person different from me?
Mm-hmm.
And this is all going on while he's getting pounded in the butt.
Okay,
so,
getting pounded in the butt. Yeah, it could be some like really deep shit with the veil of gay sex.
It's very possible.
As
it's very
framework
possible
for the story. Yeah.
Yeah. That
he
he's
also has
actually
some sweet merch.
Oh, does he?
I'm gonna send you one on Discord. I really kind of want this.
Nice, man. Pounded in the butt by my handsome living tote bag. He's as the ripped dude on the front, but then there's also, this is a picture on the tote bag, but then there's another picture of a tote bag in that picture, and that tote bag also has a title of like "Pounded in the Butt" by something like a tote bag,
living tote bag. Hugo nominated author Chuck Tingle, folks. We really may have to just make this a Chuck. We may have to have a moratorium on Chuck Tingle.
Yeah. I mean, this is only the second time, I think.
Oh, is it? Okay, well, then that's
I think
fine.
so.
Not like the game Who Shall Not Be Named.
Correct.
That took up 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm,
and even if you might include this one, too, because...
We didn't say its actual name, so it doesn't count.
Okay.
I don't think we said any
with those
details,
rules.
so...
No.
Yeah.
Just that it's a game about a hoop that is, might be on the later part of its life.
If you were to, Anyway, moving on. We're not gonna. We can't blow all of the synonyms for the title in one.
Yeah,
episode.
we can't on this episode.
We have to space it out.
Yeah, given how long it's gonna take.
Yeah.
Anyway, Chuck Tingle, he's great, folks. Check him out. He has my recommendation. He has a podcast. He has 2 podcasts, actually.
Damn, really?
I'll go ahead and just give him a shout out. There's My Friend Chuck, which is a bit more serious. It's him and some co-host. I forget her name, but they talk about like real world issues and stuff. And she like predicts the future. And there's Pounded in the Butt by My Own Podcast, which is kind of just like a weird show, I think.
Kind of like this show where we just shoot from the hip and.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a... Yeah, I'd say it's more like a show, like Tim and Eric, kind of.
Ah.
It's like actual...
Okay.
I don't know how to describe. It's weird. Check him out. He's got a bunch of books.
Yeah, shout out. Chuck Tingle, you're the man, dude.
You are the man.
Man of the hour. Yeah, man. We talked all about new anime and shit. But new TV has come out. Tokyo Vice on HBO. Fucking sick, dude. It's so cool.
Oh.
I watched the first 2 episodes at least. But I am a little bit biased. The main dude is Ansel Elgort, who he was the main dude in like Baby Driver. And I fucking love that movie. And
yeah, that was a good movie.
Yeah, the love interest in The Fault in Our Stars, for those of you who also watched that movie in theaters like I did.
You watched that movie in theaters?
Yeah. I didn't watch it alone. I was with a lady, so it counts, right? If I had watched it alone...
Nothing wrong with watching Christopher Sparks adaptates. Christopher Sparks, right?
Nicholas Sparks?
Nicholas Sparks.
Nicholas Sparks?
Yes.
Dante Alighieri
You can
Sparks?
watch them alone.
Yeah.
Like a real man.
Like a real man does, who sits at home alone and watches The Notebook and doesn't cry himself to sleep every night.
Nope.
Ruminate on his loneliness and how he'll never have a romance like that ever in his life. Anyway, Tokyo Vice, solid. It's pretty good. It's about Ansel Elgort. He plays a gaijin newspaper reporter in Tokyo in like it was like the 90s. I forget what year it's set, but starts getting into some crazy Yakuza stuff, which is pretty sick. At least I only watched the first 2 episodes so far. And then I updated HBO on my PlayStation and it logged me out, and I forgot to write down what my HBO password was, so I need to reset it. Super annoying. Why is it necessary in this day and age to have like a million billion fucking passwords and logins for everything?
Because people will abuse it and use your shit.
Yeah.
I think the bigger thing is, why isn't there some sort of other authentication method? I mean, you have 2-factor,
right? Yeah.
YouTube. I need, as long as I'm signed in on my phone onto YouTube, if like, because for some reason on my Xbox it'll kick me off. It's been an issue apparently for YouTube on X. It'll like log you out. I think it does it as a security thing. So you just have to re-authenticate. But as long as I have it on my phone, I go to a website and type in like four or five digits, and it'll let me log in.
Oh,
it makes it really
that's
simple.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I have a whole fucking notebook page of just a bunch of my logins and passwords, and it's annoying. I'm ready for the days where we have like a barcode
Where we're chipped.
implanted on our and we can just like whatever device we're watching anything on or anything you need to log into, you just fucking scan it, do just a little tattoo on the back of your hand or something. It's just like a little fucking panda or something cute. And you just scan it and it's like, oh yes, you are indeed Elliot Sherwood, who got that fucking stupid panda tattoo that everybody's mocking you for, but it makes you log in faster. So
it makes you log in. That's it. That's the only benefit. It makes you log into your accounts faster.
Like, it's just a big flashing sign that says like I have a bad memory. So
what would stop like someone from like holding their phone up to it and logging themselves into your account?
Yeah, that's the
Or like if you take a picture, you'd have to like put it like inside your ass cheek or something.
Yeah. Well,
so when you want to log in, you have to like spread your cheek.
You do the there was a whole fucking like Adult Swim infomercial thing about the the toilet pipe thing. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like you log in and it takes a imprint of your individual asshole and
yes, yeah, that's it. That was what it was. And they had the pedophile come on and they were like, we're going to show you this child's asshole.
Yeah, they were like, we're required by law. We're the only corporation in America required by law to let you know that this corporation is listed as a sexual offender.
Yeah. That was a good fucking skit. Yeah.
It was, yeah.
So that's what it'd be like then. Yeah, I could get behind that.
It'd be like that, yeah.
Because it's like a fingerprint. Your butthole's unique.
Yeah, everybody has a different butthole. The only question is, like, if you're getting pounded in the butt constantly, does it change your the butthole composition? Yeah, like eventually it wouldn't be able to recognize your butthole. I don't know. These are the important questions we have to ask going into the future of technology and biometric engineering. These are the questions that somebody is tackling. These eggheads at Google and Facebook are figuring out how to monetize our buttholes.
Yep, they'll get your asshole one day. They will.
They'll get it. They
already have everything else. I mean,
they all. Yeah.
As long as it lets you log into your Netflix account.
I mean, honestly,
so you can watch the latest live action anime adaptation.
Yeah, because those are always so good.
Yeah, that One Piece.
They're
not
bad at all.
Soon.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
and the Avatar one.
Oh man.
Yeah,
oh god, I heard that like I didn't follow it. I haven't like got on any real social media in a hot minute, but the last thing I heard about it was like the original dudes who were making it were on board and were doing stuff, and then they like bailed. So now it's just its own thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
like Netflix likes to do.
Yep. The original show, or at least one of the original showrunners, I believe. Maybe it might have been both, but yeah, they both left, and now Nickelodeon is going to have its own like streaming service. So, and they're going to fund a new season of Avatar or whatever.
Jeez Louise.
From what I understand, or at least that's where they went, the guys. So
Oh,
they have like their
okay.
own studio in Nickelodeon Studios, something like that.
Oh man.
But yeah, I feel like that live action one is not. If anything, I mean, maybe the first season will be good, but
Maybe.
Maybe.
If that.
I really don't have any hope for.
Right.
I mean, I didn't hate Cowboy Bebop entirely. There were some good. The bits that were good. We've discussed this. You know, the bits that were good,
Yeah.
and the rest was shit. It wasn't like Death Note, which was all shit.
That's what I heard. Was like the only good thing about that movie was Willem Dafoe.
Yeah,
So,
basically.
yeah.
I don't think he had any idea what what it even was.
No, man, he's busy doing just all kinds of crazy movies. I still haven't seen The Lighthouse, but I heard it was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, that's one that's been on my list for a while.
And
I want to see The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. That looks so good.
Dude, that does look good. Nick Cage is just a wild character. Just like him as a real life person is insane.
Yeah.
So then him making a movie like spoofing his own life, is that kind of what that's kind of what it is, right?
That is the play. He plays himself in the movie. And he there's like a guy that's a super fan of his that owns all of his memorabilia and whatever, and he's like a billionaire, but he's also a cartel leader, I believe.
What?
Yeah. So he flies him out there, and wacky antics. I mean, it looks good. It's him, Pedro Pascal. I think
Nice.
Neil Patrick Harris is in it.
Oh, nice. Neil Patrick Harris is fantastic, dude. He was probably the best part of the new Matrix movie.
He was in the new Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
What thing he wore to the premiere.
Did he wear something to the premiere?
Yeah, it was like a Matrix. It had a really good what do you call it? Like when the colors blend, really nice. And it was the Matrix. A hue? No, not a hue.
When colors blend, like it matches, like
it goes from one color to another, but it's
a gradient.
Gradient, yes.
Yeah. Huh, that's nice. I like a good gradient.
That's all I've
down
seen
with
of the
that.
new Matrix then.
Oh, you haven't seen the new Matrix movie?
No.
It's meh. I think we discussed it a little bit.
Yeah, that kind of turned me off.
I don't really recommend it. I'm sorry to Keanu Reeves and Carrie and Moss, I think is her name, plays Trinity. They're fine, but the character direction of every character in that movie is just it's a mess. It's a mess.
Sorry, Wachowski sisters, or is it just the one sister?
I think it's just one of the Wachowski sisters this time around, which is why it probably fell flat.
Maybe. Yeah. Unfortunate, but what can you do?
The unbearable weight of a Matrix series, I guess. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, me either. I'll just pretend it ended with the third one. And then that anime, I guess.
Yeah. Solid stuff. It was good. It was all right. Cool with it. And hey, look at the time, ladies and gentlemen.
Folks, an hour plus 8 minutes. We went over for you this time. We really, wow.
Felt bad about missing last week.
Yeah, there really wasn't even a reason for it.
No, I honestly was not in a great place mentally last week, so
well,
it's whatever. It's it's hard to put together that kind of the energy to be creative for all of our fine listeners around the world. We have a ton of global listeners now, dude. I was looking at the statistics. It's more behind the scenes talk. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Filling up some extra time for you guys, so you know.
Absolutely. We got to go above and beyond this episode.
Full transparency mode.
We're going to spread our ass cheeks and bear it all to you guys so you can get our data.
You get a good imprint of our buttholes. And we'll see.
I don't
want to
live in a world where my asshole can dox me.
Where your asshole shows up on a billboard somewhere and they're like, recognize this ass. And then,
Like, imagine having an app and, like, every time you take a shit, because toilets would obviously have cameras in them to
yeah,
identify.
it would be every toilet. Yeah.
And it updates your location. It's like Snapchat, but for taking a shit. It updates your location.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I see
Too
you in the
much?
bathroom of that Taco Bell, bro. Too many nachos del grande. I get it. That Baja Blast
Goddamn.
does things to your gut.
It runs through you. Runs through you.
So our statistics, where are all our listeners? I want to call them out individually.
Yeah, we had, well, at the, from the earlier episodes, actually, I forget when it was the first time I pointed out that we had a listener in Germany. Shout out to them. I want to say it was like around episode 10 or something.
Dankeschön.
Early
Yeah,
adopter.
Dankeschön.
We had a listener in the UK, obviously the Queen, like I said.
What? Thank you.
Big fan of us. Let's see, what was the other one? Brazil, and fuck, there was one more that was like it was a wild foreign country, but I can't remember now. Anyway, yeah, we're big all over the fucking planet, bro.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we actually have a decent following in Chicago.
Yeah, you said there were some in the States too.
Yeah. So we got some real Midwest fans out there. Shout out to you.
True scumbags.
True scumbags, one and all. You can be proud to listen to this show.
You can't. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up.
And we have made a total of $0 in revenue. In fact, I've probably lost money.
Probably.
If you take into account like the research using my bandwidth.
Yeah.
And also the bandwidth this is using.
All of the content that we consume to talk about, that's not free. But yeah.
But we do it all for you, and I would do it 100 times. For you.
New
Specifically
Zealand.
you.
New Zealand is the other one. Shout out to New Zealand.
We see you, New Zealand.
We see you. We see you. Sorry to cut you off there. It just popped up in my head, and I've had a carafe of sake, so...
A carafe.
Yeah, I don't know what the actual word is, but...
We Americans will use anything besides the metric system to describe an amount of anything, won't we?
Yeah,
this
I mean,
bus
it's definitely...
was 2 giraffes long, or...
It's probably a liter, maybe, but...
A liter of sake.
Like a liter, maybe, if that. Probably...
How much is that in fluid ounces?
Couple pints, actually. I doubt it's a full liter. No, it's definitely not a full liter. Never mind, I'm thinking a full liter bottle.
Liter would be a lot.
That would be a lot. That'd be like 2 carafes that I have. I can't... I wish I knew the actual word for the... I should probably know the actual word for the...
3-gallon buckets, but the top is cut off, but it's kind of slanted.
Yeah.
Like the cut is at a slant. That's how much.
Enough to drown like 2 colonies of fire ants, I guess. So, not a whole lot because ants are small, but...
Yeah, ants are small.
Enough to drown a lot of them.
I mean, it wouldn't take a lot.
Probably not.
I'm sure you leave the hose running over their anthill for like 10 seconds. Mm-hmm. That'd probably kill a bunch. I mean, I don't want to talk about genociding ants. That's mean.
No, it is.
Don't
mean.
kill. I mean, obviously, if they're an invasive species.
Yeah. There's a lot of ants in Louisiana when I grew up, so I've seen, like, if you run, like, you're cutting your grass lawnmower style, but they're huge fire ant piles, so you run your lawnmower over the anthill, and...
Oh, and you get them on
It's insane, dude. Yeah, and then you see, you run the lawnmower over it, and you pull it back, and you see just the chaos of all the ants freaking out because their home was literally destroyed by, like, a giant spinning blade that they can't process because their tiny little ant brains can only process what ants. It's sort of like that. The idea of like if there are aliens out there, we can't even perceive them because they're on a totally different plane. Yeah, like we're ants to them.
Yeah.
And yeah, kind of like that. It's dark. It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it is fucked up. Survival of the fittest, though. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if I'd be saying that if there was some sort of alien invasion, but I feel like if there was an alien invasion, we wouldn't really have much time to think about anything.
No. If the aliens rolled a giant spaceship lawnmower over the planet and we just went into total chaos mode, yeah.
I mean, any species that's capable of interstellar faster FTL travel faster than light, I mean, they'd be able to wipe us out pretty quick.
Yeah.
I imagine.
Oh, for sure. Faster than light travel is, I mean, it has to be a thing, right? Like, I know that there are laws in physics, but it's really just like the closest approximation to what we can say is a constant force, right?
Yes, yeah. I think theoretically FTL could not be possible. Well, couldn't be. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. But there's also, the inverse. It's like, if it does exist, why haven't we been found?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a whole topic in of itself.
That's a whole different episode.
Yeah, like the Fermi paradox
space.
And how gigantically, mind-fuckingly huge space is.
Yeah.
And how fast everything is moving relatively.
Yeah. And it's all just like vibrating and expanding at insane rates, and how like our tiny little planet is a little bitty speck in the solar system that's just a speck on the galaxy.
Blue dot.
And
that's all we are.
Yeah. We're like,
blue dot.
We're not even an electron of an atom.
Nope.
If that,
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, our, it's relative to the entire history of the universe, we are very new.
Yeah, we are. Hot and on the scene. That's what the humans are all about. And we're here.
Life, baby, and free will.
Or what we think is free will.
Yeah, as long as, we're, this isn't a simulation.
Yeah, the illusion of free will, but it's all actually predetermined and programmed, and we're going along with it, but, we can't perceive it because we're within the program. So once a program becomes sentient of its, or maybe not sentient, conscious of its environment, its realistic environment that it's in, then the whole thing falls apart, because that means it breaks the illusion, right?
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't even really matter in the grand scheme of things anyway.
That too.
If it's just a simulation, we wouldn't be aware of it. I mean, we wouldn't be aware of it until it was over, and even then.
Yeah, and even then, like, death is a whole different topic that we can get into, but like we wouldn't know. Like, the worst thing that can happen to you is you dying. So if the whole world comes to an end instantly and everybody's dead, there's nobody around to feel sad about it, right?
Yeah, that's the whole point of entropy. Well, not the whole point, but yeah, everything is going to die. It doesn't matter how far into the future. Everything. I mean, it's just a scientific fact that there will be a time when the last star burns out.
Yeah.
And by then, I mean, humanity will probably be long gone. I mean, if we can't figure out a way to get out of our, little tiny, the soul system, that's what we are, right? If we can't, our star will eventually blow up and then die and wipe out everything near it. When I say near, I mean pretty much everything.
Basically everything that we could ever possibly hope to perceive within a lifetime.
I mean, that's billions and billions of years ahead, so
yeah.
Don't go freaking out about it right now, folks.
Yeah, exactly.
It will happen.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually,
you have a ton of lives to live before then.
The last atom will stop moving, or whatever electron will stop moving. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Everything will be silent, and does it all just start over? Who knows?
depending on your philosophical or religious belief. Yeah, everything is cyclic. Could get into the whole Hindu, the yugas, and talk about the chaos and the balance of light and dark and how darkness takes over, but eventually it's like, okay, because if things exist, then things have to not exist at some point. So it's like,
we'll have to talk about this more during the Kingdom Hearts episode.
We'll get into it with the Kingdom Hearts episode. Yeah. Does Kingdom Hearts get into that like super existential?
Yeah, totally.
Really?
Do I exist? Do I not exist? Is totally Roxas and Xion.
Shit, that's right.
I mean, nobody's in general. It's like, do I exist because I don't have a heart? Am I real?
Mm-hmm.
Which the heart is like the soul. I mean, we'll get into it. We'll talk about that's just a little teaser for you folks.
Mm-hmm.
Kingdom Hearts, we'll get into it one day.
We'll get into it. Sort of goes back to the whole persona Jungian shadow and whatnot. Like Roxas would be sort of the shadow of Sora. Anyway, sorry. Yeah.
Yep.
Just a teaser. We've gone on way over. Holy shit.
20 whole minutes. Sorry, folks.
Shouldn't bring up like topics heavy worth discussion of
I know.
Existentialism.
We're not Joe Rogan podcast. We can't do this for 4 hours. I'm not getting paid enough.
4 hours. No. Sorry. Maybe one day we'll take the mantle from Joe. One day
move to Texas, buy all of our friends' houses so they can live next to us and be guests on the show because they're fan favorites.
Yeah. Eventually, Joe, hit us up. I know you're a busy man. You got a lot going on. So,
but we got a lot to say.
We got a lot to say, and we're here whenever you're ready. We're here. We'll let you be the first guest on the.
We'll make you an honorary scumbag. The highest honor we can bestow.
The highest honor that we can bestow, and within our power of this worldwide podcast, because it is worldwide.
It is. We can say that. We can literally say that.
That is actually not a lie, which is one of the few things on the show that is not a lie.
And that's true. All right, folks. I say this is a good place to wrap it up.
I think so. Thank you for hanging out with us, everybody.
Yep. Hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you next time, whenever that may be.
That's right. I think next episode, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is it April 30th?
No.
It'll be
the week after.
Oh, that's week after. Okay. I thought we were. Anyway, yeah.
Thanks, guys. There's something happening on the 30th. Can you guess what?
There's something happening. We only mention it once an episode, but.
Did we?
I think we talked about it once.
So I'm ending it here. Good night, folks.
Later.